सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ क्वाड, एक बार लिख लो उसको, सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ क्वाड। It acts as a strategic balance against China. It acts as strategic balance against China. Strengthening India's Act East policy, कॉमा करके लिख रहा है, strengthening India's Act East policy. कॉमा, boosting maritime security, boosting maritime security, and providing supply chain resilience through technological and economic cooperation, and providing supply chain resilience through technological and economic cooperation. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट में लिखना सिग्निफिकेंस में, देखो एक और मैं टॉपिक बता रहा हूं जिसपे क्वेश्चन आने वाला है। ये आप प्रीलिम्स में ना अपने लिए कहते हैं आई कैचिंग टॉपिक्स। द क्वेश्चन इन द टेस्ट सीरीज यू विल 110% फाइंड दिस। द वर्ड इज कॉल्ड इंडिया स्टैक। इसको गूगल करके भी पढ़ लेना एक बार, इंडिया स्टैक। Basically, it is India's indigenous digital public infrastructure. DPI, it is in short form, you will find it as DPI, Digital Public Infrastructure. ठीक है, क्वाड, इसके बाद लिखो हम क्यों इसकी बात कर रहे हैं। बेसिकली क्वाड had signed the principles of digital public infrastructure. India is happy about it, हाँ। How it is? It Act East policy. Okay. देखो, Act East policy is here. It is part of this grouping. If maritime security will be there, therefore India's Act East policies, India's presence in the eastern side will be empowered because of Japan, because of Australia, because of US. And here we see the presence of China also. So India's grouping or membership into Quad will strengthen India's Act East policy. ठीक है, look east to Act East policy in the Southeast Asian nations. Okay, here. अभी हम और करेंगे तो you will get to know that how India acts as balancing power in resolving the conflicts. अभी अगर आपको सारे एग्जांपल्स मिलेंगे इंडिया की सॉफ्ट पावर डिप्लोमेसी के, जो कि आप सब्सटेंशिएट करोगे मेंस में बहुत जगह पे। इसको देखो, आई डोंट वांट यू टू गो इनटू द रोट लर्निंग, बट अंडरस्टैंडिंग वाइज यू नीड टू लर्न। ठीक, क्वाड के बेसिक्स हमने क्या क्या, विल्मिंगटन डिक्लेरेशन इज रिलेटेड टू क्वाड। इंडिया स्टैक is the foundational indigenous India's digital public infrastructure. India stack आते ही digital public infrastructure. Quad also talks about foundation principles of digital public infrastructure. ठीक है, Quad has launched Quad Cancer Moonshot for cervical cancer, particularly for cervical cancer in the Indo-Pacific region. Quad को चाइना कहता है कि ये एशियन नाटो है. It is Asian NATO. It's a sarcasm. Quad is doubted to be Asian NATO by China. ठीक है, ये क्रिटिसिज्म कहते हैं। क्वाड के लिए एक और से हमने क्वाड बनाया हुआ एक और चीज है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज स्क्वाड। देखो, अदर ग्रुप सच एज क्वाड कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जापान, फिलीपींस एंड यूएस, नॉट सो इंपॉर्टेंट स्क्वाड, क्योंकि फिलीपींस है उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, बाकी ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जापान एंड यूएस विथ इंडिया बिकम्स मोर इंपॉर्टेंट पावर। ठीक है, जो इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन है उसके बारे में एक बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात है। व्हाट इज द बाउंड्री? कल हमने जब पढ़ा था तो हमने डिफाइन किया था सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन, ईस्टर्न साइड, वेस्टर्न साइड, नॉर्दर्न साइड, सदर्न साइड। व्हाट इज द नॉर्थ ऑफ सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन? रशिया। साउथ, ईस्टर्न साइड, वेस्टर्न साइड, कैस्पियन सी। क्लियर? If I talk about Indo-Pacific region, what is the western side of Indo-Pacific region? Indo-Pacific region, हाथ खड़ा करके बोलो, take a logical guess. देखो, इंपॉर्टेंट है ये सेंटेंसेस हमारे लिए। What Indo-Pacific region, what is the eastern side, what is the western side? वेस्टर्न साइड। देखो, अभी समझ लो, इंडिया का स्टैंड है, इंडिया कहता है इंडो पैसिफिक इज फ्रॉम हियर, ईस्टर्न साइड ऑफ अफ्रीकन कॉन्टिनेंट से लेकर के अमेरिकन कॉन्टिनेंट तक। दिस इज इंडो पैसिफिक, व्हाट इंडिया डिफाइंस। गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट? ईस्टर्न साइड ऑफ अफ्रीकन कॉन्टिनेंट, वी टेक इट इनटू Indian Ocean. Therefore, Indo-Pacific will mean both of them. Whereas what USA says, being part of Quad, USA will say eastern side of India to western side of American continent is called as Indo-Pacific. How India defines it? From eastern side of Africa. So in your paper, if question comes towards the domain of Indo-Pacific region, you will mention it is from the eastern side of Africa. Because what India believes, we will mention that. Confuse नहीं होना है पेपर में। ठीक है, ईस्टर्न साइड ऑफ अफ्रीका से इंडो पैसिफिक स्टार्ट होता है। अच्छा, अगर मैं पूछता हूं एक क्वेश्चन आपसे यहाँ पे, ये थोड़ा सा इंपॉर्टेंट है। इंडिया स्टैक चेक प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, व्हाट प्रिंसिपल्स विल बी देयर? Any principle? The principles will be of transparency, trust, security. All these goody words will be there. दो तीन और words अगर वो दे देंगे, it is fine. ठीक है? Privacy will be there or not? India's role in conflict resolution. Some pointers we will write and इसको star mark कर लेना because we will use it in mains most of the time. और ये bracket में लिखना where you can use these points. India's soft power diplomacy. India's role in conflict resolution or India's soft power diplomacy. Recently what happened, India's Prime Minister visited, first he visited Russia and he visited Kiev, Ukraine. Okay, Kiev, he visited Kiev. What to demonstrate? To demonstrate at the global stage that India is going to resolve the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Then it was under the question that is India capable enough? As a nation, India capable भी है इस चीज के लिए कि नहीं है? Then various newspaper articles mentioned and talked about it, what India has already done. Has anybody visited Vietnam? Okay. यूएस वियतनाम, वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री आप लोगों ने पढ़ी होगी। वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री में यू विल रिमेंबर, बेसिकली ये जो मेन था बैकग्राउंड मैं आपको बताता हूं। जस्ट आफ्टर द इलेक्शंस ही विजिटेड, इनटू द इलेक्शन बेसिकली देयर वाज सम इंटरफेरेंस बाय द यूएस स्पाई एजेंट्स इनटू इंडिया, इंडियन इलेक्शंस। सो टू शो ऑफ द यूएस that you are anti-Russia, but we will maintain our forever friendship with Russia. Therefore, Prime Minister visited Russia. And what happened here? India has shown that time and again when US and Vietnam wars were there, US Vietnam War, you remember, where US got defeated. US got defeated, and India was basically the arbitrator into understanding and resolving the conflict between US and Vietnam. So India said, हमने आपको resolve करके दिया issue. So don't ask about our capabilities. Where you got defeated, we have resolved that conflict. So we will look into certain factors. India's evolving role as proactive mediator in global conflict resolution. Latest अगर हम बात करें, what has happened latest is I2U2. Abraham Accords में very latest. Now right now it has failed. I2U2. India, Israel, USA and UAE. I2U2 याद होगा सबको, अभी फेल हो चुका है because right now the war is going on. ठीक है, तो हेडिंग डाल लो India's role in conflict resolution or soft power diplomacy. Now write down into it. In 1955, India mediated. In 1955, India mediated between USSR and Austria, not Australia, Austria, for the withdrawal of Soviet troops. For the withdrawal of Soviet troops from Austrian soil and persuading Austria to declare neutrality. Then 1960s. India was the chairman Rajat, in the science and tech class, I will properly brief about digital public infrastructure. 1960s, India was the chairman of the International Commission for Supervision and Control. In the war in Vietnam. (1979) India's finance minister. 1979, India's finance minister called off his China visit. And actively supported Vietnam on China's aggression. Then you look at here. India facilitated the end of Saudi Arabia's 70-year-old ban on using its airspace for flights to Israel in 2018. India facilitated the end of Saudi Arabia's 70-year ban on using airspace. ठीक है, इजराइल को सऊदी अरेबिया वाले एरोप्लेन नहीं उड़ाने देते थे अपने ऊपर, तो इंडिया ने कहा नहीं नहीं, इनको भी उड़ाने दो एरोप्लेन. ठीक है. समझते हो कि सऊदी अरेबिया इजराइल का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट अभी भी वही चल रहा है, ठीक है. Then we provided fresh drinking water to Maldives during water crisis in 2014. उस समय चाइना ने नहीं पानी दिया था मालदीव्स को. India provided fresh drinking water to Maldives. Then comes to the philosophical argument of India. Conflict resolution. We believe in the philosophy of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. एंड ये लिख लेना, ये आपको मेंस में हर जगह काम आता है. 5S. कहीं कुछ नहीं समझ में आता है किसी भी रिलेशंस में, देखो व्हाट हैपेंस, दिस इज योर फॉर्डर पॉइंट. 5S, 4C, ओके, सागर डॉक्ट्रिन. सो 5S, सम्मान, संवाद, सहयोग, शांति एंड समृद्धि टुवर्ड्स फॉरेन पॉलिसी. व्हाट इज 5S? सम्मान, म्यूचुअल रिस्पेक्ट, ठीक है. संवाद, डायलॉग. 3Ds जो इंडिया एम्प्लॉय करता है सॉल्यूशन के लिए. 3Ds, व्हाट आर द 3Ds? डायलॉग, डिप्लोमेसी एंड डेमोक्रेसी. डायलॉग, डिप्लोमेसी एंड डेमोक्रेसी. What your prime minister said here, we have stayed away from the war. We have stayed away from the war, not because we do not have a choice or we are weak, but we are not neutral. We are in favor of peace. It is not, we are not getting into the war because we just do not want war. We are not neutral. We are in the favor of peace. Land of Buddha and Mahatma Gandhi with a message of peace. We belong to the, this is called symbolism. ठीक है. In ethics, you know, basically they use it as a symbol to persuade the people. Mahatma Gandhi and Buddhism, the political leaders use it. We come from the land of Buddha and Mahatma Gandhi with a message of peace. The term two-state solution often seen in news is related to which of the following? Yeah, Russia-Ukraine crisis. श्योर, सबको श्योर है, ठीक है. Israel Palestine. India was in favor of two-state solution. India was in favor of Palestine cause. ठीक है. इंडिया सिंगापुर रिलेशंस. देखो, साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, पार्डन अबाउट दिस मैप, पहले तो ये मैप्स को करेक्ट करते हैं. ये ऐसे है, ठीक है. इंटरनेट से डाउनलोड करने पे यही मैप मिल रहा था. वन टाइम वन स्टूडेंट कंप्लेंट अगेंस्ट मी, सर इज नॉट पैट्रियोटिक, ही यूज दिस मैप इन द क्लास, है ना. ही वाज सम ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट. Okay, and then after watching the recorded lecture, the message came to the management and management told me I'm not patriotic. I was like, what is this? Then please correct this map, okay, in your notes also. Now what has happened? देखो, Act East policy हमने पढ़ा है. Act East policy, here you have ASEAN countries. Don't worry, in the prelims I will talk about all these blocks. कैसे कैसे बने थे, क्या क्या इवोल्यूशन हुआ इनका. Now what happens here? You have Brunei Darussalam. Okay, so it was a two-leg meeting, one leg at Brunei Darussalam and one leg at Singapore. Prime Minister of India visited. It was the first state visit or the visit by any Prime Minister from India to Brunei Darussalam. हम उसको भी आज पढ़ेंगे, but Brunei से ज्यादा important, Brunei में तो we just visited. Singapore is very important. India Singapore visit. Here we have, you know, अब हम एकदम strategic partner बन गए सिंगापुर के साथ. What is the importance of Singapore? First of all, it is a city City state, जैसे Vatican City is a country in itself. Monaco is a city state. Similarly, Singapore is a city state. First time when India recognized, just see the growth trajectory. अगर किसी country के बारे में पढ़ना और सीखना हो तो study about Singapore. 1965, India first time recognized Singapore as a country. Now see the growth in the Singapore. हम 1947 से independent हैं. So 1965 first time we recognize Singapore. Prime Minister of India visited Singapore during the second leg of two-nation trip to Southeast Asia, having travelled to Brunei Darussalam in the first leg. Okay, Brunei Darussalam पहले गए, फिर हम सिंगापुर गए. पहले हमारी पार्टनरशिप 2015 तक थी केवल स्ट्रैटेजिक पार्टनरशिप. Okay, now it has been elevated to comprehensive strategic partnership. पॉइंट जो आपको नोट करना है अपने नोट कॉपी में लिख लो. इंडिया सिंगापुर have recently elevated to comprehensive strategic partnership. Comprehensive strategic partnership, by that we mean it is not just an economic partnership, but as well as strategic in terms of China or in terms of military aggression from a country. India will help and participate. और देखो क्या साइन करते हैं ये लोग. MOU on India Singapore semiconductor ecosystem partnership. Are you seeing in the Quad also we are talking about semiconductor? In the Quad also we are talking about semiconductor. With Singapore also we are talking about semiconductor. जो knowledge base हम learn करते हैं इससे. In the exam, if you find अगर semiconductor knowledge base I am talking about, 90% it is going to be correct. अगर ये तो पढ़ ही रहे हो आप. Apart from that, if you get any question related to semiconductor, that India is promoting semiconductor into this or that manner, mark it correct statement. Don't overthink about it. India is aggressively following the policy for building the ecosystem for semiconductor. In participation, in collaboration with different countries as well as in India through Indian Semiconductor Mission. Clear? We are pro semiconductor right now. So we have signed MOU Singapore Semiconductor Ecosystem Partnership. Please इसको important mark करके रखना, क्वेश्चन आ सकता है ये. तो अब आप ये मत कहना कि एकदम क्वेश्चन अंदर से आ गया है. Pratik, this is, he's saying this is POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, but this is India only. We take it as India. In our map, we draw lines like that. Okay. In Nepal, when you will talk about Nepal draws map something like this. Kalapani region, it counts in its own map. But India will say, no, this is our region. So it's fine. Okay. Now you see why Singapore is infamous for. Singapore is infamous for being a tax heaven. ठीक है? तो हमने उनसे क्या साइन किया है? DTAA. Double Tax Avoidance Agreement. Somewhere it should have been written. DTA, Double Tax Avoidance Agreement has been signed. थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड लिख लो सिंगापुर के बारे में. Singapore was a trading station since 1819. Established by Sir Stamford Raffles. Stamford, Stamford, Raffles, Raffles. Established by Sir Stamford Raffles and was governed from Kolkata. And was governed from Kolkata. Full stop. India was one of the first countries to recognize Singapore in 1965. Crucial facts. Highlighted स्टार मार्क करके लिखेंगे हम. ठीक है. इंडिया हैज साइंड, अब जो लिख रहे हो उसको पेन चेंज कर लो या हाईलाइट कर लो या कैप्स में लिखो. इंडिया हैज साइंड सीका, CECA, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन एग्रीमेंट with Singapore. India has signed CECA, comprehensive CECA, comprehensive economic cooperation agreement with Singapore. Next point, important point. Singapore is the largest trading partner of India. Singapore is the largest trading partner of India in ASEAN. जो आसियान कंट्रीज है उसमें सबसे बड़ा ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर कौन है? सिंगापुर. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट वन, रुपे कार्ड एंड यूपीआई. Rupee card and UPI Pay Now linkage is adopted by Singapore. इंडिया में बहुत सारी लैंग्वेजेस हैं. one of Indian language is adopted as Singapore's official language. कौन सी लैंग्वेज होगी? Any guess? He's saying Tamil. Any guess? South Indian language. So write down, Tamil is one of the 4 official languages of Singapore. Tamil is one of the 4 official languages of Singapore. Good. इंडिया ने एक दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट लॉन्च की है अभी रिसेंटली. G20 इनिशिएटिव में वन मेजर थिंग वाज लॉन्च्ड बाय इंडिया, ब्राजील एंड यूएसए. व्हाट वाज इट? G20. देखो ये चीजें ना हमें एक सीक्वेंस में समझ. वेरी गुड. ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल अलायंस, ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल अलायंस, इट वाज लॉन्च्ड. देखो ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल, ये क्वेश्चन आएगा एग्जाम में इसलिए. ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल अलायंस वाज लॉन्च्ड बाय इंडिया, यूएसए एंड ब्राजील अंडर द एजीज ऑफ G20 इन 2023. ये गलती हमें नहीं करनी है. ठीक है, ये सही, ये याद रखना, ये क्वेश्चन गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, अभी जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी गए वहां पे तो उन्होंने कन्विंस कर लिया टू सिंगापुर, यू ऑल्सो ज्वाइन दिस ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल अलायंस. अच्छा, हमने क्या लर्न किया इससे? इन द नॉलेज बेस व्हाट वी हैव लर्न दैट बिकॉज सिंगापुर इज अ डेवलप्ड कंट्री, so we are talking about semiconductors, global biofuel alliance with them. Getting this point? And also global biofuel alliance इतना जब कर ही रहे, ट्रांजिशनल एनर्जी की बात करें तो ऐसे आपको याद हो जाएगा इजिली. सिंगापुर is also part of International Solar Alliance. She is also taking the class. International Solar Alliance. एक मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज बहुत कॉमन है, वो पूछ सकते हैं कि विद सिंगापुर व्हाट वी हैव? सिम्बेक्स. डिफेंस। एक क्वेश्चन है, इंडिया इज नेट इंपोर्टर और नेट एक्सपोर्टर टू सिंगापुर? लिख लो, इंडिया इज नेट इंपोर्टर, वी इंपोर्ट, so there will be a bilateral trade deficit. India is net importer from Singapore. It's a military exercise. Yes, it's a military exercise. China is Singapore's third largest trading partner. Not so important. China से कभी कंपैरिजन सिंगापुर का इंडिया का नहीं करेंगे वो. Neighborhood countries with Nepal, with Bangladesh, they would be doing. No need to remember this. ये क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा आपको एग्जाम. ठीक है. Gold smuggling is a big problem with Singapore. Apart from tax haven, GTA we have signed in 2016, basically double tax avoidance agreement. Indians are used as gold mules. Mule समझते हो? गधा. In the body, basically, they inject gold. Okay, and then through the airport, basically Indians come to India, and in the metal detectors, gold is found in their body by the customs department, and they find आप body में इतना gold क्यों लेके घूम रहे हो? Then this is a problem. Gold smuggling happens. Security of supplies arrangement, SOSA. देखो ये एक डिफेंस, दिस इज बेसिकली अ डिफेंस arrangement. USA is India's strategic partner. We are clear about it. USA is India's strategic partner. अभी क्या हो रहा है, कैसे डेवलपमेंट हो रही, थोड़ा समझते हैं. Understand it first. These foundational agreements are called as enabling agreements. क्या कहते हैं इनको? Enabling agreements. This is USA. Here you have India. यहाँ पे China. Here you have Russia. Now what happens? USA is coming close to India for Indo-Pacific region. समझना है पूरा हमको. Indo-Pacific region के लिए close आ रहा है. Close आते ही उसने क्या बनाया? Quad. Quad is US led. Today we'll talk about Indo-Pacific economic framework. It is also led by USA for its footprint into Indo-Pacific region. Now what it is using to counter China, it is always saying this region as Indo-Pacific region, not Sino-Pacific region. Sino means China. Indo-Pacific region. USA in all ways is trying to counter China, but USA को एक चीज पता है कि we need eyes on the grounds. बातें तो ऊपर ministerial level पे चलेंगी. We need eyes on the ground. What they want, first of all, they arm twisted India. अब आप रशिया से equipments नहीं खरीदोगे. You will not purchase any military or defense equipment from the Russia. इंडिया ने तुरंत S-400 ट्रम्प ऑर्डर कर दिया रशिया से. ठीक है, इंडिया ने तुरंत ऑर्डर किया S-400 ट्रम्प from Russia. Then India order Rafale from France. इंडिया ने कहा आपसे भी ऑर्डर कर लेंगे, चाइनूक हेलीकॉप्टर्स दे दो हमको, कोई बात नहीं है. ठीक है. What India is doing, just understand this. इसी को कहते हैं strategic autonomy. What India is doing, India is diversifying its energy basket from different countries, Central Asian region, Venezuela, Middle East. We are diversifying our energy basket. We do not want to get dependent on any particular region or country for that matter. Similarly, in terms of defense deals, we want to diversify ourselves. From USA also we'll purchase something, from Russia also we'll purchase something, but USA is creating little bit of pressure. It is asking us to sign certain deals. These deals are called as Limoa, Comcasa and Beka. ठीक है, अभी हम देखेंगे उनके बारे में क्या है डील्स. इन डील्स में ये होता है कि अगर हम डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट वी आर परचेजिंग फ्रॉम यूएसए, दैट पर्टिकुलर डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट इट हैज सर्टेन फीचर्स और सैटेलाइट्स whose data will be constantly transmitted to US. USA will get to know what India is doing on its borders. Sophisticated machineries है उसमें. From the satellite, this equipment can be traced. So USA will be knowing what are the deployments of India. Similarly, USA is concerned that if Chinese equipments India is using, Russian equipment, sorry, then Russia will be knowing about India's placement. Ultimate objective of USA is not to contain India, but to contain China. You have seen the government has been toppled into Bangladesh. It is because of USA. It is because of USA it has happened. So, to keep an eye on China, it is doing so. Now, the 4 deals you will see here. Security of supply arrangement. India has signed this deal so that we want the guarantee in case of any need because of the China two-front war situation, we will get adequate equipments. यहाँ पे इन्होंने क्या कहा, एक लाइजनिंग ऑफिसर होगा. लाइजनिंग ऑफिसर जो इंडिया की टॉप बटालियन लीड कर रही होगी on the borders of China or on the borders of Pakistan. There will be a liasoning officer from USA into it. Similarly, India's liasoning officer will be there in USA. So better technology sharing, information sharing can be done. This will act as a deterrence towards China and it will provide maritime security, strengthen India's military security. ठीक है. इसके पहले हमने ये डील साइन किए. इनेबलिंग डील्स कहते हैं ताकि हम साइन कर सके सिक्योरिटी ऑफ सप्लाईज अरेंजमेंट. ये याद रखेंगे, लिमोआ, कॉमकासा एंड बेका. लॉजिस्टिक्स एक्सचेंज मेमोरेंडम, लॉजिस्टिक्स विल बी एक्सचेंज्ड. ओके. Then communications compatibility. Satellite data information can be exchanged across the borders. And basic exchange and cooperation agreement for geospatial cooperation. BECA. General security सबसे पहला होता है military information agreement. बहुत basic है ये. हमने ये सारा साइन कर दिया. 2016 we signed LIMOA, then COMCASA, and later on 2018 BECA. Now we have moved towards this. And India is not the first security of suppliers agreements. So India is like 16th or 18th, I think. India is the 18th SOSHA partner of USA. It is legally non-binding. ठीक है, SOSHA partner, सोशेबाजी वाला पार्टनर. क्या ये लीगली बाइंडिंग है? क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे एक स्टेटमेंट विल कम. इट इज नॉन लीगली बाइंडिंग. हमने ये डील साइन की पहले, मिलिट्री डील्स छोटी छोटी. उसके बाद वी बिकेम अ सोशा पार्टनर. देन अभी व्हाट वी आर नेगोशिएटिंग कि कुछ लीगली बाइंडिंग भी तो हो जाए. यू विल फाइंड, अगर अगला अटेम्प्ट देना होगा तो, दैट इंडिया एंड यूएसए राइट नाउ दे आर नेगोशिएटिंग. फिर ये डील आ जाएगी आपके सामने. साइन अ बाइंडिंग रेसिप्रोकल डिफेंस प्रोक्योरमेंट एग्रीमेंट. So next deal जो आने वाली है, that is binding reciprocal defense procurement agreement. Therefore we understand it right now. Right इस साइड में लिख लो for your knowledge base. Right now India has not signed any legally binding military agreement with USA. Clear? Mind में clarity होनी चाहिए. Because this deal has been signed, so write down, India will deploy the first liaison officer. India will deploy the first liaison officer to the US. ये है, India will deploy the first liaison officer to the US Special Operations Command. Special Operations Command. Special Operations Command headquarters in Florida. एक ये बार बार टेस्ट सीरीज में मिलेगा आपको ICET, ये भी लिख लो, इंडिया एंड यूएस इनिशिएटिव, साइडलाइंस में लिख लो, इंडिया एंड यूएस इनिशिएटिव ऑन क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी. क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी. इंडिया यूएस इनिशिएटिव ऑन critical and emerging technologies. That is, ICT was launched in 2023. देखो, बेनिफिट से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि वी आर मूविंग towards more closer cooperation in military deals. Now, this officer will be able to understand how US military operates. Information exchange will be there. And similarly, their officer will visit India. So we are getting close with US in terms of defense partnerships. So that going forward, we can have binding agreements between India and US. ठीक है, ICT में क्वेश्चन है मेरा, देखो कैसे स्टेटमेंट ट्विस्ट होती है. क्या लिखा आपने ICT? व्हाट इज इट? क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज. क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज, विल इट बी फॉर डिफेंस और नॉट? यस और नो? लिख लो, इट इज फॉर एक्सपेंशन ऑफ स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप. It is for expansion of strategic technology partnership and defense industrial cooperation. Example, Indus X. Indus X. So Indus X ICT देखोगे, it is India US initiative. Indus X है क्या basically? Your mind will be emerging and critical technologies. Basically, Indus X is a platform that acts as a bridge where we share defense-based information with US. ठीक है, ये छोटे छोटे टर्म्स हैं, याद करना है, इसको अपना हाईलाइट करके रख लेना आप लोग. Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, it has completed 5 years. ठीक है, बस छोटे छोटे पॉइंट्स लिख लो. Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, it is a non-treaty based voluntary arrangement. Non-treaty based voluntary arrangement. It was launched by India in 2019 at the East Asia Summit in Bangkok, Thailand. Just factual information about it. The basic themes, you know, it's an umbrella concept. Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative. Facts, if come in the examination, should be correct. 2019 launched by India in the East Asia Summit. यहाँ पे philosophy वसुधैव कुटुंबकम नहीं है. It is Sagar. Security and growth for all. in the region initiative. Now you understand what will be there. इतना deep question नहीं आएगा कि which countries are leading which department. This question will not come. It is launched by India in the East Asia Summit. Remember this. There they will talk about it was launched by India in the BIMSTEC. In the East Asia Summit 2019, it was launched. Then what are the areas? Maritime security, maritime resources, trade connectivity and maritime transport, capacity building, resource sharing, disaster risk reduction management, science and technology, academic cooperation, marine ecology. Even if more pointers are given to you for sustainable maritime transport, for sustainable blue economy, all the things will be included there. Maritime security, maritime resources, maritime ecology, biology, all these things will be included in this umbrella concept. एक सेंटेंस लिखना साइड में, this you will use for the Indo-Pacific region. Indo-Pacific region, ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है आपको, इसको क्वेश्चन फॉर्मेट में ही लिख लो, अदरवाइज एज अ कोटेशन यू विल इंट्रोडक्शन में लिखोगे तो एग्जामिनर विल अंडरस्टैंड. इट्स अ सिंबॉलिक वे ऑफ राइटिंग. इंडो-पैसिफिक रीजन is a construct of contested interpretations. Is a construct of contested interpretations. मतलब समझ में आ रहा है? नहीं आ रहा है. This is Indo-Pacific region. Some map we should understand. Like Indo-Pacific region, from here it starts or here it starts. Indo-Pacific region, USA is saying this, it is a contest between contested interpretation, is a construct of, भाई geographically तो है नहीं, ठीक है? Politically we have divided this region, politically we have formed this region. So is a construct of contested interpretations. India is saying that Indo-Pacific starts from here, USA is saying it starts from here. China will have a construct of Sino-Pacific region, including East China Sea, South China Sea, 9-dash line, string of pearls. China has a different definition of Indo-Pacific. So is a contested construct of interpretations. Different interpretations are there in the Indo-Pacific region. कौन सेंटेंस लिखो अच्छी बातें जब लिख रहे हो तो. India is like a stationed ship. India is like a stationed ship on the harbor of South Asian continent. On the harbor of South Asian continent. ठीक है, शिप है जो कि हार्बर पे आ गई है. इंडिया इज, इफ यू सी द मैप ऑफ इंडिया, इट सीम्स मोर लाइक अ शिप on the South Asian continent. Okay, now you write, substantiate this arguments. India's stand, into that you write first point जो है, India's stand, Indo-Pacific region stretches from eastern coast of Africa eastern coast of Africa, Indo-Pacific region stretches from eastern coast of Africa to the America. USA's definition. It means that India needs to be more dynamic about its connections in the maritime. Ship is for transportation, but India is not able to harness that energy. India is blocked in South Asia. Block समझते हो कि हम move नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. China has not that advantage, but still China is doing better in terms of transportation, connectivity. ठीक है. Then USA's stand, Indo-Pacific expands up to the west coast of India. Indo-Pacific expands up to the west coast of India. From the western boundary of America. नहीं वेस्टर्न मतलब जस्ट हम वेस्टर्न के साइड से लेते हैं, यहां से ले लेते हैं. ठीक है, वेस्टर्न बाउंड्री ऑफ इंडिया. Between India and East Asia, the navigation time and distance can be greatly reduced by which of the following? Prelims 2011 question. Raise your hands. Online students reply. This question is relevant today also. Yes. बैठ के हाँ. Okay. He's saying B. Rajat is saying C. Pratik is saying A. तो A, B, C तीनों हैं अभी. C, C, B, B. Okay. B, Y, B. ठीक है, ये करेक्ट हो गया. What about A? This is, you don't know A. Then how can you eliminate A? Y, B. You don't know A. But you don't know A, how can you eliminate A? Huh? Okay, you solved this in the background of everything. Dishant, very good. Extremely good, Dishant. हाँ, you tell. They have क्या बहुत ज्यादा है? ट्रैफिक स्टेट में ओके, ट्रैफिक बहुत ज्यादा है. सो ठीक है. सो यू आर सेइंग कि यहाँ पे बिल्कुल भी रिड्यूस नहीं होगा डीप करने से बिकॉज ट्रैफिक इज मच. ओके, ठीक है. वन लॉजिक. नीतीश, व्हाट इज योर आंसर? हाँ, वाई? मुझे वो मत बताओ कहानी. ए को कैसे एलिमिनेट करो, क्वेश्चन ये. वाई बी का मतलब है हाउ यू आर एलिमिनेटिंग ए. जयदत्त, डीपनिंग इज नॉट पॉसिबल बिकॉज ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल रीजंस. ओके, आप लोग पहुंच गए हो सही जगह तक, बस गाड़ी पार्क करनी है. See, this is how these questions are being framed. Between India and East Asia, opening a new canal across the Kra Isthmus between the Gulf of Siam and Andaman Sea. This question is very important. आएगा दोबारा रिपीट होगा. यूपीएससी में क्वेश्चन रिपीट होते हैं, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं होते. Now your responsibility on the map Gulf of Siam and Andaman Sea. Please locate where it is. मैप वर्क कर लो. क्रास थमस पे क्वेश्चन आया नहीं है अभी दोबारा इसके बाद से. इट विल डेफिनेटली कम बिकॉज वी आर हैविंग स्ट्रैटेजिक प्रोजेक्ट इन कार निकोबार आइलैंड. वहां पे हम बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं. तो अभी वो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपसे ये पूछेंगे. वो कार निकोबार पे हो सकता है डायरेक्ट ना पूछे. कनेक्टिविटी के लिए क्रास थमस, इज दिस प्रोजेक्ट फीजिबल और नॉट? ओके, तो लुक एट दिस ऑन द मैप. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, deepening the Malacca Straits between Malaysia and Indonesia. this is a question of pure IQ. Why this is, for example, just understand, geography का question है ये. If this is a canal, okay, or strait, what will happen? इंडिया में जो प्रॉब्लम है, हमने जो देखा है इतनी बार, इंडिया में जो प्रॉब्लम है, that is dredging. Because if dredging is not possible, उसकी वजह से क्या होता है? Heavy ships, large volume containers cannot dock. That is the problem because of deepening. है ना? Depth की वजह से large containers are already coming to this place. It means the problem is not with depth. Problem is with width. So deepening the Malacca Straits between Malaysia and Indonesia, no, it will not reduce the time, but broadening. And broadening is not possible, then you have to clear the land space. So by broadening the Malacca Strait, we can reduce the time and distance, not by deepening it. By deepening it, we can allow large volume containers. Getting this point? Large volume containers. नहीं, ये मलक्का स्ट्रेट इज बिटवीन मलेशिया एंड इंडोनेशिया. मलक्का स्ट्रेट मैप पे देखा है, देखो यहाँ, नहीं, क्वेश्चन देखो क्या है, यहाँ पे है बे ऑफ बंगाल, दिस इज इंडिया. फ्रॉम हियर वी डू द ट्रेड. दिस इज वेयर यू हैव मलक्का स्ट्रेट. Getting this point? Strait of Malacca. And here you have Cra Canal. So what will happen? It will reduce the time of trade from India as well and East Asia. East Asia से मान लो अगर यहाँ से कोई चीज ले जानी हो तो we will go from Strait of Malacca only. Strait of Malacca, ये सब confusion होते हैं. Therefore you need to solve lot of MCQs. It is between these two. But trade will happen between India and East Asia. Clear है? ये doubt है अभी भी. ठीक है? Correct answer will be in this case B. Why B is more important? Tapi gas pipeline project. Yesterday we read it that Afghanistan wants to start construction of Tapi gas pipeline. Some basic facts are there. Tapi pipeline emerged in mid-1990s, designed to transport natural gas extracted from, ये important point, Gilginch gas fields. It is in Turkmenistan. Gilginch gas fields. Where it is in Turkmenistan. ताजिकिस्तान में क्या है इंडिया का? What are the name of the air bases in Tajikistan? कल ही लिखा है, आप लोगों ने कॉपी में लिखा है. हाँ? It is nearer to India, that is fine. What are the name of the two air bases? Farkhor and Aini air base, Tajikistan. Farkhor and Aini air base, Tajikistan. Good. And this is in Turkmenistan. Which of the, देखो कैसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO. One of the Central Asian region countries is not a part of SCO. What is the name of the country? Afghanistan is not part of Central Asian region. Afghanistan is not part of Central Asian region. पहली गलती तो यही नहीं करनी है. कल मैंने लिखवाया है क्लास में. Turkmenistan is not part of SCO despite being in the Central Asian region. Why Turkmenistan is not part of SCO? Because it follows policy of military neutrality. लिख लो इसको साइड में कहीं. देखो वन डायमेंशनल लर्निंग से फायदा नहीं होगा. All the topics are connected, interconnected with each other. माइंड में हम कैसे याद रखेंगे? प्रॉब्लम होती है ना याद करने में. तापी गैस पाइपलाइन जहां से आ रही है वो कंट्री पार्टी नहीं है एससीओ का, याद रहेगा। तुर्कमेनिस्तान से तापी गैस पाइपलाइन आ रही, इट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ शंघाई कोऑपरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एससीओ। क्या रीजन? Because it follows principle of military neutrality. Turkmenistan follows the principle of military neutrality. Recently, Afghanistan and Turkmenistan officials jointly inaugurated Tapi gas pipeline. It is also called as peace pipeline. On Turkmenistan side and Afghanistan set to begin work on Tapi pipeline. Now look at the map. This is Turkmenistan. Gilginch gas pipeline. It's found near Mari. The place is Mari. From Herat, okay, Quetta, in Pakistan to Multan to Fazilka. Okay, here it will come. This is the way. So Turkmenistan will construct, Afghanistan will construct, and from Quetta we do not know. And we are not sure. From Quetta to Multan we are not sure. India will just receive it here at Fazilka. पाकिस्तान की करंट अफेयर्स की क्लास में बहुत खुशी से पढ़ाया जा रहा होगा ये, बिकॉज पाकिस्तान इज श्योर टू रिसीव द गैस, नेचुरल गैस। नाउ दे विल कंटेस्ट इंडिया के जो इंडस रिवर वाटर से हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी निकाल लेते हैं, है ना, एंड वी जस्ट प्रोवाइड देम बेयर वाटर। They will say we will take the gas out of it. Now India will complain that less flow of gas we are getting here, natural gas. My point is you should make it in a funny way so that you remember it also. So in Pakistan, which two places are there? Quetta and Multan. India, which place? Fazilka. And from here, Gilginch gas pipeline will come to Kandahar. This place is Kandahar actually, है ना? From Kandahar, Herat, Kandahar, two places in Afghanistan, you remember? Herat and Kandahar, and Quetta and Multan. Fazilka is in which state of India? Punjab. It is in Punjab. This project is being funded by ASEAN Development Bank. ब्रैकेट में लिख लो कहीं पे. This project is being funded by ADB, ASEAN Development Bank. These things you know, I don't need to discuss. Strategic and geopolitical importance of this project, economic access to potentially cheaper natural gas will be there, and energy security. It will also counter China. Factual information for prelims. This understanding is there. What is the importance of developing Chabar Port by India? 3-4 बार तो कर चुके हैं मैं क्वेश्चन क्लास में. See, India will not depend on Pakistan for access to Afghanistan and Central Asia. From Iran only will take the access. Similarly, they may give you the question about what is the significance of developing Tapi gas pipeline. Different options will be given to you. वहां पे ये मत कर देना इंडिया विल नॉट डिपेंड ऑन पाकिस्तान, बिकॉज इंडिया एक्चुअली डिपेंड्स ऑन पाकिस्तान इन द तापी गैस पाइपलाइन, है ना. India signed first of its kind agreements under IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. ये दो एग्रीमेंट हमने, इसके 4 पिलर्स हैं बेसिकली. इंडो पैसिफिक इकोनॉमिक, एक बार लिख लो 4 पिलर्स. 4 पिलर्स ऑफ IPEF. जब भी IPEF लिखो, it is for led, US led. So you understand that China will not be member of it. US led, ये 14 कंट्रीज है टोटल. इसमें एक कंट्री का नाम नहीं लिखा है, फिजी. ठीक है, US led, total 14 countries are there. It is based on 4 pillars. First pillar is trade pillar. Second pillar is supply chain resilience. Trade pillar. First is trade pillar, then supply chain resilience pillar. Fourth pillar is clean economy pillar. Third is clean economy. Fourth pillar is fair economy. लिखो, India has not signed the trade pillar. India has not signed the trade pillar. और अभी हमने 2 एग्रीमेंट साइन किए हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ इट्स काइंड एग्रीमेंट अंडर इंडो पैसिफिक इकोनॉमिक फ्रेमवर्क ऑन द थर्ड पिलर एट द फोर्थ पिलर. यू हैव रिटन द 4 पिलर्स. थर्ड पिलर इज क्लीन इकोनॉमी, फोर्थ पिलर इज फेयर इकोनॉमी. अंदर कुछ बहुत ज्यादा हुआ नहीं है, बस याद रखने की बात है. क्लीन इकोनॉमी मींस क्लीन एनर्जी टेक्नोलॉजीज, investment and capacity building. They have created some funds under it. IPF Catalytic Capital Fund, IPF Accelerator. Fair economy, transparent and predictable trade and investment environment, enhancing information sharing, asset recovery, investigations and prosecutions. India has not signed the trade pillar. That is important for us. Question is, why India did not sign trade pillar? Why? लेबर कॉस्ट. देखो, जब भी हम ट्रेड पिलर साइन करेंगे तो वी हैव सम लीगली बाइंडिंग. वन मोर थिंग यू राइट अबाउट फर्स्ट इंडो पैसिफिक इकोनॉमिक. It is not a free trade agreement. It is not a free trade agreement. It is non-legally binding voluntary agreement. It is non-legally binding voluntary agreement. Very good, Pratik. India do not follow the labor codes of the international standards. That is the bigger problem, because manufacturing cost in India will increase by manifolds. So we do not want to sign the trade pillar. First point, number 1. Second point, this trade is not just about the trade into manufacturing and services. This trade is also about the trade in data. And India do not want to trade the data right now. Trade of data. India is generating voluminous data. पैसिफिक आइलैंड्स फोरम, बहुत बेसिक है ये पैसिफिक आइलैंड्स फोरम। ठीक है, पैसिफिक, यू सी द इंडो पैसिफिक में पैसिफिक आइलैंड्स, पॉलिनेशिया, माइक्रोनेशिया, है ना, they are calling that we should have some police, okay, multilateral policing. So Pacific Island Forum endorsed Australia funded Pacific policing initiative. Why they are focusing on this? Because they want to limit China's influence over Pacific security multilaterally. It is not very important for us, but एक बार लिख लो साइड में। One more line to write. Blue Pacific continent is a strategy under Pacific Islands Forum 2050 vision. ये पूछेंगे एग्जाम में, Blue Pacific continent is the strategy by FAO or which organization? Blue Pacific continent. UN adopts Pact for the Future. Act UN Summit for the Future. For the future की बात हो रही है, सब कुछ आएगा उसमें, है ना? In the this handout you will get everything. Sustainable development, green financing, international peace and security, science and technology innovation, digital cooperation, youth and future, everything umbrella project. Important point is all the member countries adopted it except Russia. Small group of 7 member countries did not adopt it, including Russia. Side में बस लिख लेना, Russia did not opted for it. Russia did not opted for it. Okay. UN का ही एक और है, ग्लोबल डिजिटल कॉम्पैक्ट। ग्लोबल डिजिटल कॉम्पैक्ट इसी के साथ ही लिख लो, ग्लोबल डिजिटल कॉम्पैक्ट। UN डिजिटल सुनते ही इंडिया आ जाता है दिमाग में, है ना? ग्लोबल डिजिटल कॉम्पैक्ट, it is a global agreement on regulating AI, and digital technologies. It is a global compact, global agreement on regulating AI and digital technologies to promote sustainable development while addressing digital divides. Now it has been included in the Pact for the Future. What is the answer of this question? With reference to Global Climate Change Alliance, which of the following statements are correct? What is the answer? Raise your hands. Tushar. Third statement is wrong. Okay. Why? Organization has been. Achha. Why you are skeptical? You are not sure. That is not the point. Now we need to learn why it is wrong. That is, you need to be very sure in the examination. Huh? Why? Why third statement is wrong? It has nothing to do with World Business Council Sustainable Development. What you are thinking? A. You are thinking 1 and 3. Achha, you are saying that there must be choice between 1 and 3. Because 1, 2 and 3 are also there in the option. Achha. ठीक है. देखो, with reference to Global Climate Change Alliance. Global Climate Change, important word क्या है? Alliance. ये दिखना टेल वर्ड. ये यूज क्या करते हैं यहाँ पे? मैं डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस में आपको दिखाऊंगा. Here you have to focus on the word alliance. They will use the word, you will find in the questions, treaty, protocol, Global Climate Change Treaty, Global Climate Change Agreement, Global Climate Change Protocol. The meaning will change. You need to understand this word carefully. Global Climate Change Alliance. Which of the following statements are correct? First is, it is an initiative of the European Union. ये मैंने 5 से 6 बार क्लास में बताया है already, which you need to keep in your mind as knowledge base. European Union is very proactive in 2 arenas. Which 2 arenas? One is right to privacy, digital security, digital arena. Okay. GDPR they have brought first. Now we are copying them. And mitigating carbon footprint. वो कार्बन बॉर्डर टैक्स लगाने पे आ गए हैं. इतना ज्यादा प्रोएक्टिव है. इंडिया इज रिटेलिएटिंग कि भाई मत लगाइए कार्बन टैक्स. तो हमें इतना पता है कि क्लाइमेट चेंज से फाइट करने के लिए यूरोपियन यूनियन इज वेरी प्रोएक्टिव. I do not know whether it is an initiative of it, but it is highly probable that it should be the initiative of European Union. It provides technical and financial support to targeted developing countries to integrate climate change into their development policies and budgets. There is nothing wrong into this statement. Of course, technical and financial support दो ही चीजें चाहिए. Climate change financing is one problem and technology support. So these 2 things are correct to mitigate, and that too in the targeted developing countries. They are not writing a statement गलत हो जाती है अगर लिख देते all developing countries. Getting this point? कैसे कैसे statement गलत हो सकती थी? If they would have written all the developing countries in the targeted developing countries to integrate. It is coordinated by the World Resource Institute (WRI) and World Business Council for Sustainable Development. देखो, इस क्वेश्चन में मैं ये जेन्युइन बताऊंगा. अगर आप 1, 2, 3 भी कर देते हो तो मैं आपको गलत नहीं कहूंगा. आप 1, 2, 3 भी चूज कर लेते हो क्योंकि जो भी हम लॉजिक्स फॉलो करते हैं उन लॉजिक्स को फॉलो करने के बाद 8 out of 10 क्वेश्चन ही सही होगा आपका. Not all questions can go right. 8 questions out of 10 will be correct. 2 questions you will be making wrong. If you become highly inclusive in the examination atmosphere, because when I ask you this question, I ask from the perspective that you are solving this question for the first time in the examination. You may include, because it is World Resource Institute. And they are not saying that it is funding or it is the secretary. They coordinate. Coordinate तो कोई भी कर सकता है. हो सकता है थोड़ा सा coordinate कर रहे हो, ज़्यादा नहीं कर रहे हो. Point is, WRI, World Resource and World Business Council for Sustainable Development. When this comes into the picture, then we understand the problem. कि business council will not be used. If you watch it from the keen eyes, then you will understand business council should not be involved into this climate change alliance. ठीक है? So correct answer would be A. हाँ. जो क्वेश्चन देखो, alliance is a way of saying, देखो agreement, alliance, treaty and protocol. साइड में लिख लो इन सारे वर्ड्स को, सारे वर्ड यूपीएससी यूज करती है, ये उनके पेट वर्ड्स हैं. alliance, alliance, agreement, treaty and protocol. ठीक है. Alliance is most casual way of saying that together we formed an alliance and then we will work in this direction. It's a very casual way of saying that this is an alliance. Alliance के बाद what will happen? MOA, Memorandum of Agreement. We sign. ठीक है? Agreement is signed that yes, we should be doing this. That could be legally binding, that cannot be legally binding. After the agreement comes a specific word, treaty. ट्रीटी इज मोर स्पेसिफिक. ट्रीटी का मतलब होता है बहुत स्पेसिफिक, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग डॉक्यूमेंट पे ट्रीटी साइन की जाती है. एंड आफ्टर दैट ट्रीटी वी डिफाइन सर्टेन प्रोटोकॉल्स. प्रोटोकॉल मींस हाईली important, and if you breach, you cannot breach the protocol, you will be punishable. So alliance, agreement, treaty and protocol. Protocol comes out of different treaties, like Kyoto Protocol came out of UNFCCC. Kyoto Protocol came out of UNFCCC. India and Gulf Cooperation Council adopt action plan for joint activities. Before studying this, let's come to this point. This is Gulf Cooperation Council. पहले members लिख लो Gulf Cooperation Council के. 6 members are there. ठीक है. सऊदी अरेबिया, कुवैत, बहरीन, कतर, यूएई, ओमान. India has signed 3P framework with GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council, People, Prosperity and Progress. People, Prosperity and Progress. Now, Gulf Cooperation Council is important for us because UPSC has asked the question, very simple question. First, look at the question. Which of the following is not a member of Gulf Cooperation Council? जब question आया था तो even I was shocked. Why UPSC is asking question of from the Gulf Cooperation Council which India is not a member of? ठीक है. It means that India, from there, UPSC has given a clear view that we are interested in the Middle East region. दोबारा क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे इससे हम. You must know that this region is important for us. तभी Middle Eastern or Central Asian region are the emerging arenas from where the questions will be asked. Which of the following is not a member? Sure? Iran is not the member of it. Now let's study what has happened. Joint Action Plan 2024 to 2028 was adopted at the recently held first ever, this is important, first ever India Gulf Cooperation Council joint ministerial meeting for strategic dialogue. ठीक ठीक है. Under this dialogue basically we have 3P framework जो आपने लिखा है ना अभी 3P framework. People, prosperity and progress. And this joint action plan is from 2024 to 2028. लिख लो इसको एक बार. I know थोड़ा सा लिखने में मेहनत लगती है, but please write down this. Strategic partners. India is strategic partners with Saudi Arabia, UAE and Oman. Exam में देखो Saudi Arabia and UAE you will mark. Oman you may forget. UAE always we study. Saudi Arabia we study. India has strategic partnerships with 3 countries in the Gulf Cooperation Council: Saudi Arabia, UAE and Oman. ठीक है. Rest of the things you can leave. Diaspora and all in the mains we have studied. Contribute to 35% of India's oil imports and 70% of gas imports. Middle East is important for us. Gulf Cooperation Council. Now India, Brunei, Darussalam elevate bilateral ties to enhanced partnership. It was the first bilateral visit. It was the first bilateral visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Brunei. Not so much important. नहीं पूछेंगे इससे क्वेश्चन को. You can like take it lightly. Singapore was important for us. और ये बस वर्ड रखना अपने दिमाग में कि now we have elevated to enhanced partnership, not strategic partnership. Enhanced partnership only. Brunei is not a strategic partner of India. बाकी we are talking about the cooperation in different sectors. India Denmark Green Strategic Partnership. ठीक है. ये जो है joint action plan on green strategic partnership 2021 to 2026 was also drawn up for furthering GSP. Green strategic partnership. GSP means green strategic partnership, not USA वाला GSP, generalized system of preferences, है ना? Niharika is asking a question that what is difference between enhanced partnership and strategic partnership. See, enhanced partnership means we will cooperate in terms of technology, we will cooperate in terms of trade. Strategic word, whenever it comes, it means from the perspective of defense and military as well. Whenever we use the word strategic, it means in terms of defense and military as well. So we do not have any engagement with Brunei in terms of defense or military, but we will enhanced partnership, enhanced trade, communication and technology ties with them. Okay, Niharika? ये है हमारे G4 nations. ठीक है? They are trying to counter the Western powers. ब्राजील कहता है इन तीनों को दे दो परमानेंट मेंबरशिप ऑफ यूएनएससी. जर्मनी, ये सबने बता रखा है कि इस कंट्री को क्यों मिलनी चाहिए यूएनएससी की परमानेंट मेंबरशिप. So Brazil, Germany, India and Japan are emerging contenders to be having permanent seat in the UNSC. Permanent. ये 4 members और include कर दो तो P9 हो जाएगा. P5 to P9. Support each other's bids for permanent seats in the UNSC. इनके अपोजिट भी एक क्लब बना है, कॉफी क्लब. जैसे इन चारों को तो पक्का नहीं मिलनी चाहिए मेंबरशिप. उसमें पाकिस्तान है. पाकिस्तान इज सेइंग हमें तो नहीं मिलनी चाहिए, आई एम श्योर अबाउट इट, बट इन चारों को तो कंफर्म नहीं मिलनी चाहिए. उस क्लब का नाम क्या है? कॉफी क्लब और यूनाइटेड फॉर कंसेंसस क्लब. यूनाइटेड फॉर कंसेंसस और कॉफी क्लब. यूनाइटेड, ये सब टेस्ट सीरीज में आएंगे तुम लोगों को क्वेश्चन. यूनाइटेड फॉर कंसेंसस और कॉफी क्लब. It is against the membership of India. और yes, इनको ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि इनको नहीं मिले बस. ठीक है, G4 nations, you understand? ठीक है. Fast track immigration trusted travelers program. Important point. Nodal ministry, Ministry of Home Affairs. Nodal agency, Bureau of Immigration. Bureau of Immigration. Basically, you would have seen that whenever any immigrant comes, we verify their identity, their biometrics, we confirm their purpose of visit, their visa. We try to match the things so that any kind of illicit drug trafficking, human trafficking cannot be done in any country. But it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to expedite the process. Okay, so we have digital window clearances. For that reason, fast track immigration and trusted travelers program. Certain travelers can be called as trusted, like who are OCI holders, overseas citizens of India, who are coming frequently to India. कोई दुबई में रहता है, वो घूमने आया इंडिया, तो हमें पता है ट्रस्टेड ट्रैवलर है, इंडिया में उनकी बहुत सारी प्रॉपर्टी है, तो इनको थोड़ा एक्सपेडाइट कर देते हैं इनका इमिग्रेशन प्रोसेस. इसमें एक लाइन लिख लो बस. राइट डाउन द फर्स्ट नोडल मिनिस्ट्री एंड नोडल एजेंसी टू स्पीड अप इमिग्रेशन क्लियरेंस प्रोसेस थ्रू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गेट्स. वहां पे ह्यूमन विल नॉट बी आस्किंग यू. थ्रू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गेट्स यू विल गेट इट एक्सपेडाइटेड, जस्ट लाइक मेट्रो. In the first phase, Indian citizens and OCI, overseas citizens of India, in the first phase, Indian citizens and OCI card holders are covered. In the second phase, foreign travelers will be covered. Ninth edition of Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. China is not cooperating with Africa. ठीक है, China Africa cooperation बनाया because China is exploiting Africa for its resources. You are looking at the China's policies, C plus C5 for Central Asian region. China is intruding into Africa also, into the Middle East also. So US is not capable enough to contain the China. वो Belt and Road Initiative उन्होंने एक principle बना लिया है and they are going everywhere saying that we will provide financial support, military assistance भी देंगे, basically military presence बनाएंगे. And China's strategic shift. Note that China's economic troubles at home may be leading to recalibration of its financial commitments to Africa. That we will, थोड़ा सा humanitarian aid they will be providing. And into the Africa, they want development process to be expedited. Not so much important for us. Basically, India is becoming the voice of global South. Global South in which Africa. India helped Africa to be part of G20. ठीक है? China's dominance in critical minerals value chain, particularly in cobalt and Democratic Republic of Congo, poses economic and security risks for India. India-Africa Summit was held in 2015, was the third such summit, was actually initiated by Jawaharlal Nehru. Oh. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन उस टाइम का क्वेश्चन है 2015 का, तो ये आपको याद हो जाएगा. It was not actually initiated by Jawaharlal Nehru, है ना? देखो, India's military diplomacy, इसको मत लिखो, we will cover this topic in mains. ठीक है, India's military diplomacy का क्वेश्चन है, ये प्रीलिम्स में नहीं आएगा आपको. Definite questions they are asking to the point. In the mains we will discuss India's military diplomacy, how it is working with India, Russia, with India, US, with India, France, India, Germany, how it is evolving. Not just in India importing arms and ammunition, but India is trying to export also BrahMos to the Philippines. Drones and internal security. एक बार लिखो इसको, drones वाले को. इसमें एक important चीज है. Write down drones and internal security. This news is not important that Assam Rifles and CRPF have deployed anti-drone system in Manipur. It is okay news. Don't write this. Drones likho. It provides a modern warfare. Drones act as tool of psychological warfare. Drones are used in cross-border smuggling and illicit trafficking. They pose privacy threats for critical infrastructures. They pose privacy threats for critical infrastructures. Okay, then important point, drone rules. जैसे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट रूल्स है ना, वैसे ही गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इन 2021 केम अप विद ड्रोन रूल्स 2021. divides Indian airspace into 3 zones. Green, yellow and red. आजकल देखियोगे न्यू ट्रेंड इज गोइंग ऑन, शादियों में लोग ड्रोन उड़ा रहे हैं, है ना? दैट इज अंडर ग्रीन जोन. ठीक है. रेड जोन इज लाइक पार्लियामेंट. वहां पे आप जाके ड्रोन उड़ाओगे तो फिर आपको पुलिस लेके चली जाएगी. ठीक है. पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग, इंडिया गेट के पास जाके ड्रोन मत उड़ाना. दैट इज नॉट अंडर ग्रीन जोन. ठीक है. दैट इज अंडर रेड जोन. रेड जोन मीन्स नो ड्रोन एरिया. जैसे हनी ट्रैप्स होता था, नाउ देयर आर हनी ड्रोन्स. हनी ट्रैप, यू अंडरस्टैंड वर्ड हनी ट्रैप? हनी ड्रोन, साइड में लिख लो उसको भी वर्ड, कीवर्ड्स. हनी ड्रोन्स कैन बी यूज्ड टू ल्योर साइबर अटैकर्स. Away from, can be used to lure cyber attackers away from critical UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, away from critical UAVs. FATF mutual evaluation report. ठीक है. When FATF was formed, Financial Action Task Force, 1989. ये याद रखना है. FATF was formed in 1989. इनका कहना है कि इंडिया बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है अभी. इंडिया में मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. FATF का कहना है. That's why this news is recurring in India. FATF has applauded our because a lot of transactions are happening digitally, and these three countries, UK, France, and Italy, are among the only G20 countries which have been placed in the top category. Okay, like highest rating category. India has made significant progress in financial inclusion, more than doubling the proportion. इनमें एक category है black category and grey list. Pakistan has been incoming and outgoing from the grey list. Black list भी है कोई countries like Myanmar, North Korea, Iran. They are into the blacklist. Why this is important? Because whenever bilateral trades are happening, है ना, so that the countries are aware with which government they are investing the money. FATF. Action on responsible AI in military or blueprint for action. ये एक बार लिखो, blueprint for action. मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का क्या स्टेप्स होते हैं, क्या प्रोसेस होता है मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग? गुड. लेयरिंग, प्लेसमेंट एंड इंटीग्रेशन. याद है सबको इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी में लेयरिंग, प्लेसमेंट एंड इंटीग्रेशन. लेयरिंग, प्लेसमेंट एंड इंटीग्रेशन. कभी किया है किसी ने मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग? सोचा भी नहीं करने का. He is being honest about it. Chance नहीं मिला. Yes, they can do it. People do it. And then Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Enforcement Directorate catches them also. ठीक है. PMLA Act is there. Money laundering समझने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका है visualize that you are doing it. Okay, then you will understand it better. What is layering, what is placement, and what is integration? You know, lot of, I'm giving you example of it. One example, you will not understand these things very easily. There is a museum here in Delhi called as Kiran Nadar Museum. Do you know? Anybody knows? It is in one of the Delhi's most posh mall, Saket Select City Walk Mall. The rental is very costly, but entry fee is zero. If you go there to visit the museum, the entry fee is zero. How they are operating? Or the concerts that are happening here in Delhi or all these places, these are the ways to integrate the black money into white money. You need to understand these processes. आपको इंटरव्यू में बहुत अच्छे अच्छे क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं वो लोग. You are not able to answer that. The tickets that are sold, for example, online in any concert, the tickets are sold. For example, 1,000 tickets. Online ticket they will show 1,000, but actually what they will say that 5,000 tickets I sold, including online plus offline. Including online plus offline. Online, this much money will be collected because you people will buy the ticket of the concert. And offline, 4,000 tickets will actually be not sold. That will be black money coming. And they will say कि वो offline हमने sell कर दिया है. और वो पैसा use कर लेंगे वो अपने account में. उसके account में they will put it to their accounts and they will say total tickets sold is 6,000. 1,000 लोगों में stadium भर गया. 5,000 tickets they have sold on paper. Therefore, the price money of rest 4,000 will be converted from black to white. एंड जो उस पे इनकम टैक्स लगेगा दैट दे थिंक एज कन्वर्जन चार्जेस. A lot of things are going on into it. The agency is doing very well. ठीक है, agency is doing very well, है ना? It's not that ED and DRI are doing very well to catch these things. Lot of things, intricacies are there. For example, the taxation on cup is different from gold. What they have done is international transactions. What they do is वो गोल्ड का कप बना लेते हैं और उसको कप की तरह ट्रांजैक्ट करते हैं इंडिया में. एंड व्हेन द कप रीचेस इंडिया, द टैक्स पेड इज ऑन द कप, नॉट ऑन द गोल्ड. देन दे कन्वर्ट दैट कप इनटू गोल्ड एंड देन इट गेट्स इनटू इंडिया इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गोल्ड. गोल्ड के हिसाब से वो लोग उसको सेल करते हैं. देयर आर डिफरेंट मीन्स एंड मेथड्स थ्रू व्हिच इट इज हैपनिंग. एक्शन ऑन रिस्पांसिबल एआई इन मिलिट्री. ठीक है, इस ब्लूप्रिंट फॉर एक्शन लिख लिया. इनटू इट यू राइट responsible AI. Into it you write responsible AI in the military domain. In the military domain, summit in 2024. Summit in 2024. Held in Seoul. Held in Seoul, South Korea. Announced a legally non-binding blueprint for action to govern AI usage in the military. एक important point is it is legally non-binding. अब देखो AI in military is a big problem. You have seen what is happening. The chiefs and generals are being killed sitting in different countries because artificial intelligence is very fast. It has predicted the things. Precision, pinpoint accuracy is there. So artificial intelligence in military is a big cause of concern. ऑपरेशन चक्र देखो, मैच द कॉलम में देगा. इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट टू बी लर्न, ये नहीं आएगा क्वेश्चन आपको एग्जाम में. ऑपरेशन चक्र यूपीएससी विल नॉट आस्क यू, मे बी टेस्ट सीरीज में आस्क यू. यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, द यूपीएससी कैन आस्क यू इंटरपोल से इंडिया में कोऑर्डिनेट कौन सी एजेंसी करती है? सीबीआई. द फैक्ट दैट यू राइट इन योर नोट्स इज CBI is the coordinating agency with the Interpol. No other agency in India coordinates with Interpol. Only and only CBI. Fugitive economic offenders are there, like Vijay Mallya, Mehul Choksi, है ना? They will commit crimes above 100 CR and then they will run away from India. They may go to any other countries. For their extradition, CBI will coordinate with Interpol to issue red corner notice. Remember this? So Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. What will happen? 100 crore के ऊपर होना चाहिए, तभी they will be called Fugitive Economic Offenders. तो अगर आपको इंडिया छोड़ के भागना हो तो 99 करोड़ का करना है. ठीक है, 100 करोड़ तक नहीं पहुंचना है. अप टू 90 करोड़, 99 करोड़ you will not be called as fugitive economic offenders. 100 crore and above. This will be regulated by important point क्या है, हर चीज सीबीआई कोऑर्डिनेट करती है ना. यहां पर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस विल कम इनटू पिक्चर. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू, दैट इज डीआरआई. डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू में डीआरआई, डायरेक्टरेट ऑफ रेवेन्यू इंटेलिजेंस. NRI will coordinate with CBI कि इनको एक्स्ट्राडाइट कराओ आप, बट इंटरपोल से CBI बात करेगा. ये ऑनलाइन इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्रॉड्स आर हैपनिंग, इंटरनेशनल ऑनलाइन इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्रॉड्स, तो उसको ये लोग ऑपरेशन चक्र से कर रहे हैं. Second Arihant class submarine INS Arighat commissioned into Indian Navy. We have talked about it, I think. INS Arighat, INS Arihant, nuclear triad. ठीक है. कुछ points हैं इसके बारे में that we need to remember. INS basically it is second in class of Arihant class submarine. So first will be Arihant class submarine. Arihant class submarine. It uses K-14 Sagarika missile. ठीक है, K-14 Sagarika missile. It is nuclear capable missile. And Arihant basically helped in the formation of nuclear triad. ठीक है, क्या ना न्यूक्लियर ट्रायड. हाँ, इसको कर लो K4 सागरिका, इट्स नॉट K14, जीरो लगा लो इसको. K4 सागरिका मिसाइल है ना. न्यूक्लियर ट्रायड मींस व्हाट? न्यूक्लियर ट्रायड इज अ कीवर्ड. ये आपको मेंस में क्वेश्चन आएगा, प्रीलिम्स में तो शायद ना आए. मीन व्हाट इज न्यूक्लियर ट्रायड? न्यूक्लियर ट्रायड मींस वी आर कैपेबल एनफ टू अटैक द enemy country from land, air and water, from all the three areas. Why it is necessary? Because it gives us the second strike capability. For example, if any country like China attacks Delhi, Mumbai, और वो हमारे मेजर इंस्टॉलेशंस लैंड पे खत्म कर देते हैं, भाई उनके पास बहुत सारे न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स हैं, बट इंडिया इज श्योर फॉर द सेकंड स्ट्राइक कैपेबिलिटी टू द ओशन. Therefore, there will be deterrence on the China कि आप पूरा इंडिया लैंड पे खत्म कर दोगे, but we will ensure that China will be harmed. Therefore, this is called second. Nuclear triad का meaning तीन जगह से अटैक कर सकते हो, that is one thing, but it gives second strike capability. ठीक है, credible second strike capability in line with India's no first use policy. इंडिया कहता है कि हम फर्स्ट तो यूज नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम भी है इसमें. पहले अगर चाइना ने यूज कर लिया, खत्म ही कर दिया इंडिया को, फिर कर क्या रहे इस पॉलिसी के साथ, नो फर्स्ट यूज पॉलिसी. बट वी शुड हैव सेकंड स्ट्राइक कैपेबिलिटी फॉर द deterrence. Help in maintaining strategic stability in South Asia, particularly in the context of India's nuclear armed neighbors China and Pakistan. हाँ, defense minister talked about it. No first use policy को we are trying to revise, but again because it is based on जो ethics in international relations जब पढ़ोगे, तो India wants to be a responsible nuclear state. The word is responsible nuclear state. और हम nuclear state क्यों है? जब problems हुई थी अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी के टाइम में, first time we conducted nuclear test, है ना? That time India said that lot of sanctions were there from the USA itself, but India will remain under the shadow of no first use policy only. हम कभी भी first use नहीं करेंगे nuclear. Even you see Russia, despite attacking Ukraine, it never used nuclear weapons. It could have used, but that will lead to the world war. India को पता है जब हम use कर ही नहीं सकते हैं nuclear, तो why to make it into our policy? Then it will be criticized at the global stage itself. ठीक है, अब एक चीज देखो यहाँ पे, K4 डेवलपमेंट रेंज 3500 किलोमीटर, यही है मेन मिसाइल जो हमारी चलती है अभी. K4. K-15 सागरिका रेंज 750 किलोमीटर, ठीक है, और INS अरिहंत इंडियन नेवी सेकंड इंडिजिनसली डिजाइंड एंड बिल्ड अरिहंत क्लास सबमरीन. फर्स्ट इज अरिहंत, INS अरिहंत. ये इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक क्वेश्चन आया था 2016 प्रीलिम्स में, अस्त्रधारिणी. What is Astadharini? It is torpedo launch vehicle. So they will ask you simple question from here. INS Arighat, what it is? It is nuclear. 3-4 statements will be given to you. Sagarika missile is there, you remember? You will. अगर वो 14 भी दे देते हैं तो भी मार्क कर देना yes. 4 missile, K-15 Sagarika. ठीक है. Length they will not ask you. They will ask you the question about this SSBN, ship submersible ballistic and nuclear capable missile. इस मिसाइल की एक बड़ी बात पता है क्या है? दिस मिसाइल इज न्यूक्लियर कैपेबल फॉर द अटैक एंड इट यूजेस न्यूक्लियर फ्यूल टू प्रोपेल आल्सो. न्यूक्लियर फ्यूल टू प्रोपेल एंड न्यूक्लियर कैपेबल टू अटैक. इसका मतलब है कि बहुत लॉन्ग ड्यूरेशन तक सर्वाइव कर सकती है अंडर वाटर. INS अरिहंत क्लास सबमरीन अरिघात इज न्यूक्लियर फ्यूल्ड and nuclear capable. जैसे SSBN लिखते हैं वैसे SLBM, SSBN and SLBM. ये वर्ड याद कर लो, कीवर्ड्स कभी गलती नहीं होगी एग्जाम में. SSBN समझ गए सब लोग? Ship submersible ballistic nuclear. SLBM, submarine launched ballistic missile. Submarine launched ballistic missile. Both of them are. First one was Arihant. ये हम करेंगे आराम से कल वाली क्लास. डिफरेंट क्लास ऑफ सबमरीन, डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स आते हैं. प्रोजेक्ट 15A, प्रोजेक्ट 10B. ठीक है. विद फ्रांस व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सबमरीन्स, कॉर्वेटेस, फ्रिगेट्स. वी विल स्टडी ऑल दोस इन प्रॉपर डिफेंस. हम करेंगे एक बार व्हेन वी विल टेक द होल प्रीलिम्स थ्रू सेशन. वी विल टॉक अबाउट इट, व्हाट इंडियन आर्मी इज डूइंग, व्हाट इंडियन एयर फोर्स. इसमें thoroughly we will be doing these things. Vertical launch short range SR SAM. This is called as SR SAM. देखो ऐसे ही लिखते हैं इसको, short range surface to air missile. SR SAM. Submarine launched ballistic missile, SLBM. एक मैं बेसिक चीज नॉलेज के लिए बताता हूँ. व्हाट वी डू, हाउ द DRDO डेवलप्स एनी मिसाइल. फर्स्ट वी डेवलप अ मिसाइल व्हिच इज वेरी इजी टू फायर ऑन द लैंड. आफ्टर दैट लॉट ऑफ टेस्टिंग एंड ट्रायल we try to convert that missile for the ship also. Getting this point? First we do the research and development on the land. So our navy is most equipped with all the missiles. Then some variation are created to make it fit for the Indian Air Force and Indian Navy. Getting this point? जैसे अभी हमारे पास सबसे अच्छा, सबसे लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस फायरिंग मिसाइल कौन सी है? अग्नि 5. What is the range of it? 7,600 किलोमीटर्स. ठीक है, 7,600 किलोमीटर्स से भी ज्यादा ही होगी, हम कम बताते हैं. ठीक है, ताकि चाइना डर मत जाए. इससे भी ज्यादा ही रेंज होगी. दिस इज व्हाट इज डॉक्यूमेंटेड. इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल इट इज देयर. बट इतनी अच्छी रेंज नेवी के पास नहीं, इंडियन एयरफोर्स के पास भी नहीं, क्योंकि हम इसके वेरिएशंस बनाते हैं. वन सच वेरिएशन of the vertical missile is used by the Navy. ये DRDO ने डेवलप किया है. ठीक है, it is a ship-borne weapon system designed to neutralize various aerial threats at close ranges, including sea skimming targets. Vertically launched surface-to-air missile with all-weather capability for use by Indian Navy, but it is developed by DRDO. ठीक है. Testing इसकी Chandipur, coast of Odisha. Chandipur is very famous place. Chandipur has been asked by UPSC. चांदीपुर में एक होमवर्क लिखो चलो. और चांदीपुर, ये PYQ एक्चुअली यूपीएससी का प्रीलिम्स का. व्हाट फेमस ओशन एक्टिविटी हैपेंस एट चांदीपुर? व्हाट फेमस ओशन एक्टिविटी, ओशन हैपेंस एट चांदीपुर? वहां पे कुछ एक डिफरेंट चीज होती है. यू विल फाइंड इट आउट. एक्सरसाइजेस में आते हैं. Name of exercises again revived by UPSC by asking the question in 2024 prelims. Some exercises. Exercise Varun, India and France bilateral. Important point है naval exercise. Please, हम ये भूल जाते हैं कभी कभी. It's a naval exercise. Indian Navy's Sidon 8I aircraft, and where it is conducted in Mediterranean Sea. Exercise Varuna. Exercise Varun, very famous with France, India, France. Eastern Bridge, not so important. Indian Air Force and Royal Air Force of Oman. ठीक है. जॉइंट मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज ओमान के साथ ही है, इंडिया ओमान. देखो, एक्सरसाइज अल नजहवी. युद्ध अभ्यास यूएस, इंडिया यूएस युद्ध अभ्यास, आर्मी एक्सरसाइज. तरंग शक्ति, मल्टीलेटरल एयर एक्सरसाइज इन्वॉल्विंग ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ग्रीस, श्रीलंका. मालाबार नेवल एक्सरसाइज, इंडिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जापान एंड यूएसए. इंदिरा विथ रशिया, इंडिया एंड रशिया. मैं एकदम लास्ट में आपको एक लिस्ट भी प्रोवाइड करूंगा. ऑल द इंपॉर्टेंट एक्सरसाइजेस, मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइजेस विल बी देयर इनटू इट, है ना. यू कैन रिमेंबर फ्रॉम देयर. रेडी फॉर प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस? भूख लग गई क्या? Take out your pages. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those who are new, you have to write the answers. A, B, C, D, whatever you find with the question, you have to write it. First question, start करें? Done? Everyone online done? चले आगे, इजी था क्वेश्चन. सुधीर हो गया? पीटर, दिव्या, निहारिका, प्रतीक, रजत। सिंपल क्वेश्चन। पाकिस्तान किसका किसका आंसर है? ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स कुछ सी भी दे रहे हैं आंसर। हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू थिंक पाकिस्तान इज द राइट आंसर? मतलब नॉट दिखते ही सबसे पहले पाकिस्तान को एलिमिनेट कर देना है, डोंट बीन सो हरी। सम पीपल आर राइटिंग सी एज द आंसर। मतलब read the question first. तापी गैस पाइपलाइन, they are like चाइना और पाकिस्तान, दो कंट्रीज दिखते ही we have to eliminate it. नहीं, that is wrong way of thinking. तापी गैस पाइपलाइन आज हमने अच्छे से पढ़ा है। Simple question it is, eliminate अर्मेनिया, तुर्कमेनिस्तान, पाकिस्तान, इंडिया, है ना? This is not patriotism. Done? सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट में डाउट हो रहा है? करो, कोशिश करो। Done? ये था, मैंने स्किप किया उसमें से, सो दैट यहाँ नहीं तो क्वेश्चन में तो हो ही जाएगा। किया जा सकता है क्वेश्चन पढ़ के।